You worked hard. You stayed late. You double-checked every detail, made sure the presentation was perfect, and even skipped lunch to meet the deadline. But when the meeting ended, it was their name your boss mentioned, not yours. Again, why does it feel like they always win, even when you did all the work? Why does your effort keep disappearing behind their charm? Maybe you've told yourself you're overreacting, that you're being too sensitive, but deep down, something doesn't feel right. This isn't just bad luck or a fluke. This is what happens when you work with someone who doesn't just want to shine. They want to shine by stealing your light. Narcissistic co-workers know how to manipulate, deceive, and make it look like they did the heavy lifting when it was you all along. If you've ever felt invisible, overlooked, or quietly erased at work, you are not alone, and you are not imagining it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll finally understand what's really happening, and what you can do about it. Let's start with the truth most people are afraid to say out loud. In many workplaces, recognition isn't just about doing good work. It's about being seen doing good work. And narcissists? They're masters at making sure they're always seen, even when it's your effort that got the job done. 1. Recognizing the narcissist coworker. At first glance, a narcissistic coworker might seem like a high achiever. They might talk fast, dress sharp, volunteer for big projects, and appear extremely confident. But there's one thing that sets them apart. Their relationship with success is built on manipulation, not merit. They don't just want to succeed. They want to succeed by making sure you don't. Because in their mind, if someone else shines, it threatens their entire identity. 2. The narcissist's core traits at work. Let's break down how narcissists typically behave in professional environments. Excessive need for praise. They crave admiration like oxygen. They can't stand being overlooked, even if the credit doesn't belong to them. Lack of empathy. They genuinely don't care how their actions affect others. If stepping on your back helps them climb, they'll do it without hesitation. Entitlement. They believe they deserve praise. Automatically, even when their contribution is minimal, they still feel owed recognition. Superficial charm. They often win people over with charisma, jokes, or compliments, especially those in positions of power. Manipulativeness. Every interaction has an angle. They're always calculating. How can I use this to my advantage? 3. Tactics narcissists use to take credit for your work. Now here's where it gets especially frustrating. These individuals have a toolkit of behaviors that allow them to hijack your hard work without you even noticing, until it's too late. Credit stealing. This is their favorite trick. You do the research, design the plan, and build the strategy. Then, in the meeting, they casually say, as I suggested last week, and suddenly the idea is theirs. Or worse, they volunteer to present your work, then subtly rewrite the story to make it look like they led everything. Gaslighting. After taking credit, they might twist the truth to make you doubt your own memory. If you speak up, they say, I thought we were collaborating, or didn't we agree I'd present it since you were busy? They manipulate reality to make you second-guess yourself. And it works, because you're emotionally invested in keeping peace. Triangulation. This is when they create invisible rivalries between you and others. They might praise you to your face, but tell your boss that you're not a team player. Or they'll pit you against another coworker, so you don't notice they're stealing credit from both of you. Strategic visibility. Narcissists are masters of being in the right place at the right time. Especially when supervisors are watching, they might offer help at the last second, then hang around to make it look like they were involved from the beginning. They never miss a photo op. They show up just long enough to claim they were essential. And your quiet consistency? gets drowned out by their loud self-promotion. For how narcissists manipulate managers and leaders. This is where it gets even more difficult, because narcissists are very good at managing up. They know exactly how to act in front of bosses. They're overly agreeable. They volunteer to take initiative. They make themselves appear indispensable, while subtly discrediting others. Let's say you both worked on a major project. You did the bulk of the execution, while they focused on visibility. In the final meeting, they'll say just enough to sound informed, but not enough to show they don't know the details. The manager sees a confident communicator and assumes they really know their stuff. Meanwhile, you're sitting there wondering how your 3 a.m. work sessions became someone else's success story. 5. Why this hurts so much. Working with a narcissist who steals your credit doesn't just sting. It can break you down over time. You begin to question your own worth. You start to wonder if maybe you're the problem. You may even think, maybe I really don't do enough. This is exactly what narcissists count on. They thrive when others doubt themselves, because the more unsure you become, the easier it is for them to step in and claim the spotlight. And the longer this goes on, the more damage it does to your mental health. Chronic stress, low self-esteem, burnout, cynicism, and withdrawal from collaboration. Feeling emotionally isolated. 6. Why HR or management often misses it. It's easy to assume that HR or leadership would notice this behavior, but often they don't. Here's why. Narcissists are great at surface-level relationships. They charm, flatter, and always seem upbeat, especially in front of higher-ups. Victims of narcissists often suffer quietly. They don't want to cause drama or be labeled difficult. Most workplaces reward results, not collaboration ethics. If the narcissist shows up with a successful project, few ask, who actually did the work? Narcissists are skilled at creating plausible deniability. They always have a reason, always a justification. We brainstormed that together. I was just helping them refine it. I assumed we were a team on this. 7. Why narcissists do this. To truly understand what's going on, we need to look at the psychology behind it. People with narcissistic personality disorder or strong narcissistic traits have a fragile inner world. They may appear confident, but their self-worth is built on external validation. They need admiration constantly, and they will do anything to get it, including lying, undermining, taking credit, sabotaging others. What's more, they rarely feel guilty. They may even justify their behavior by saying, if they wanted credit, they should have spoken up. I'm better at presenting it anyway. I just polished their rough idea. To them, it's not theft. It's strategy. They genuinely believe they're smarter, more deserving, and better suited for success than others. 8. How to tell if it's happening to you. Here are some red flags to watch for. You notice that projects you contributed heavily to are always associated with someone else's name. You feel hesitant to speak up because you worry you'll sound petty or jealous. Your boss seems impressed by a coworker who rarely does the actual heavy lifting. You're constantly being told, we're a team. Only when it comes to sharing your accomplishments. You feel emotionally drained just by interacting with this person. If any of these feel familiar, you're likely dealing with a narcissist at work. And no, it's not in your head. 9. Why confronting them doesn't always work. Many people think, I'll just call them out. But narcissists are master manipulators. If you confront them directly, they'll often deny everything, twist your words, accuse you of being jealous or insecure, escalate things to make you look like the troublemaker. Sometimes, speaking up is necessary, but it has to be done strategically, and often through proper documentation and calm professionalism. 10. The hidden cost to workplace culture. When narcissists go unchecked, it affects more than just you. Team morale drops. Others notice the unfairness, even if they don't say anything. Collaboration dies. Why contribute if someone else always takes the credit? Good employees leave, and often the narcissist stays because they're seen as high performers. Left unaddressed, narcissistic behavior becomes normalized, turning a workplace toxic. 11. You are not weak for being affected. Let me pause and say this directly. If this has happened to you, it doesn't mean you're naive. It doesn't mean you're bad at your job. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you value integrity. You assume people operate in good faith. You focus on your work, not on playing games. But narcissists thrive in environments where people like you do the real work. Quietly. Let's take a breath. Because if you've made it this far, it probably means you've lived some part of this. You've been sidelined, overlooked, or outshined by someone who didn't earn the spotlight. And that hurts deeply. But the first and most important truth I want to leave you with is this. You're not crazy. You're not overreacting. And you're absolutely not alone. This behavior is real. It's manipulative. And it's far more common than most people realize. Let's talk about what you can do. You don't have to let this continue. You don't have to keep shrinking just because someone else is inflating themselves at your expense. Here are some practical, grounded strategies that can help you protect your work and preserve your peace. 1. Document everything. Start creating a paper trail. Save emails, drafts, timestamps, and work logs that clearly show your contributions. If you brainstorm an idea, follow up with an email recap. If you complete a report, make sure it's shared from your email address with your name clearly visible. Documentation isn't just about proof. It's about reclaiming ownership over the effort you've put in. 2. Assert your visibility. Quietly, strategically. You don't have to brag like the narcissist, but you do need to advocate for yourself. Start using small phrases in meetings like, "In the version I drafted last night, when I was testing that function earlier, from the data I pulled yesterday." These subtle statements place you in the center of the work without being confrontational. You're not being arrogant. You're being accurate. 3. Communicate directly with supervisors. Don't rely on the narcissist to relay your contributions to your boss. They won't. Instead, build a direct, respectful communication line with your manager. Use weekly updates or check-ins to summarize your progress and goals. And when you've completed something significant, let them know, with grace and confidence. Something as simple as, "Hey, just wanted to share that I finalized the proposal today and submitted it on time. I'm proud of how it turned out." This isn't showing off. It's protecting your narrative before someone else hijacks it. 4. Don't try to change the narcissist. This is hard to accept, but important. You can't fix them. Narcissistic personalities rarely change, especially in environments that reward charisma over character. Trying to confront or teach them a lesson usually backfires. They'll deny, deflect, or even turn others against you. So instead of focusing on them, focus on boundaries. Focus on clarity. Focus on yourself. 5. Build an ally network. Chances are, you're not the only one being affected. Others in the workplace may also feel dismissed, undervalued, or misrepresented. Without gossiping or venting, try building quiet, honest connections with people you trust. Even one workplace ally can make a huge difference. Together, you can support each other, verify contributions, back each other up in meetings, and celebrate each other's wins. No one should have to fight narcissistic manipulation alone. 6. Know when to escalate or walk away. If the narcissist's behavior becomes toxic to the point of sabotage, bullying, or career harm, you may need to speak with HR or leadership. Again, bring documentation, not emotion. Stay calm. Stay factual. But if the system continues to enable the narcissist, if you're stuck in a culture that rewards credit stealing and image over integrity, it's okay to consider other paths. Leaving a toxic workplace is not failure. It's self-preservation, reclaiming your mental space. Beyond the strategies, I want to say something more personal. It is not your job to make narcissists like you. It is not your job to let someone else's ego dictate your worth. You do not need to be louder to be valid. You do not need to perform your value to be worthy of respect. Your quiet work matters. Your consistency matters. Your integrity matters. And no narcissist, no matter how smooth or cunning, can take away what you've truly built inside yourself. A message of hope. I know it's exhausting, fighting to be seen, wrestling with doubt, feeling like you're constantly working twice as hard to get half the credit. But please hear this. You are not invisible. You were never invisible. They just made sure to stand in front of you every time the light came on. That's not your fault. That's their pattern. And now, you see it clearly. You're learning to name it, to resist it, and to rise above it. Because once you know the game, you don't have to play it on their terms anymore. You can protect your voice. You can defend your contribution. You can build a career based on truth, not image. And in time, you'll be working with people who value what you bring, not people who try to take it away. If this message resonated with you, please know you're not alone. Share this video with someone who's been quietly fighting the same battle. Let them know they're not crazy. They're not overreacting. They're just finally seeing the truth. And the truth will set you free.